In this module of the MOOC, we focus on the urban ecosystem. In this lecture, I will briefly discuss several of these urban systems. Via some exemplary projects, I will show you how we can design on systems level. Of course, many systems on all scales and topics can be defined. In this course, we focus mainly on environmental systems at urban landscape or regional scale, which have an impact on different habitats and species. In the examples, the water system is often used as this is one of the most influential systems, but there are others such as nutrients or spatial connections and so on. Bossel in 1998 defined several related systems, also mentioning individual development, environmental, social, infrastructural, economical and governmental systems. Others might be political, financial, legal and so on. But the main idea is to get an integrated urban ecology design approach. The Sustainable Development Goals with the SDGs wedding cake model in 2016 also shows how biosphere or environmental systems are basic to other systems. To get a grip on the systems we are interested in, gathering some information first is required. Try to map or find maps or diagrams of the natural and agricultural layers in and around your city and area. An elevation map, water, soil and landscape vegetation or ecoregions, as these are the basis in which cities evolved. Next to the natural system, there is the urban system. Here as well, water, soil and existing vegetation are important. Also try to find or map different neighborhoods, neighborhood typologies, because each typology has specific characteristics and thus also influencing species and its potentials over there. The topography or spatial configuration also influences connections between habitats of different sizes. This has an influence on genetic exchange as well, which is a crucial factor. The island theory is an interesting one for cities as well. Studies concluded that a bigger island has more biodiversity than a small island, and in its turn a small island near the mainland will have more biodiversity than a similar sized island further away from the mainland due to the fewer connections with the mainland. So in cities, natural areas or green areas in a way can be treated as islands in an ocean. Hence we work with core areas, connections and stepping stones. Greening and biodiversity is not only for the birds and the bees. Applying nature-based solutions links directly to advantages for people, resulting in a more resilient city, as many research papers mention, which you can also find on the readings. There are many ecosystem services linked to greening cities, from pure air to clean water. But also well-being, belonging and social development are better addressed. Now that we have this information, how can we use all this in an urban ecology design approach? For that we like to use the existing natural cycles which are in place all over Earth, from water to carbon, nutrients and more. If we look to our cities and built environments, we see that many of these cycles have been interrupted or completely changed, having sometimes drastic effects on local habitats. In order to get more grip on the long-term habitat formation, we need to understand the systems so we know where we can positively intervene, where we can adjust the buttons of this bigger system for positive change for species and people. Once we know what we like to adjust, habitats will evolve on their own, or can sometimes even be created, such as a pond or grasslands. Once the habitats evolved or have been created, they can be linked to other ecological networks, so more species can occupy it. And sometimes species can also be introduced or helped, like adding bird or bat boxes. 3 examples now. The Rotterdam water case is about understanding the system of rainfall and storage in the city, where there used to be too little storage capacity. New storage capacity can be solved in such a way that it has synergies and also benefits. It benefits the people living in those neighborhoods. Places with poor public space, poor housing and poor connectivity right now. So the new perspective adapts the old system so water can be stored and used for the benefit of all. In this example, interventions like water squares and water living are introduced. A stony square is turned into water storage and a nice place to be, and at the same time there is more green and biodiversity. This is the dry situation. This is a situation when there's little rain, and the next situation is when there is a lot of rain. So its daily use links solutions at system level to green and biodiversity, as well as good uses for people. Example 2 is in Tamansour, Morocco, by Rosa de Wolf, an arid region in need of water. The system is drawn in a diagram. This can be done very specific or in a general way, with the information at hand. The bottom line is to understand the system and its issues. Then a new system can be drawn and possible interventions can be proposed. Here an overview of many possible interventions is categorized in a so-called pattern language, an overview of possible solutions. Finally, some solutions can be applied, linking systems level to habitat or place, and also to species and people, as we are also a species in a way. A third example is about cohabitation between humans and elephants in Assam, India. This is to show the importance of biodiversity, spatial configuration, and a system of connections. Connections for wildlife and other connections for people. Here, nature reserves and migration routes conflict with roads, tea gardens, rice fields, and villages. Adapting the system can solve some of these problems, for instance by zoning plans or ecoducts, or by providing elephants with nearby rice fields or natural food and water, and linking tourism to these tea gardens. These interventions link again the systems level changes to habitat level and species and humans. This three-stepped urban ecology design approach can be used as shown in these examples and in many more situations. Some aspects will be repeated later on in the course to get a grip on this way of working. In the next videos, the MOOC will continue with the scale of the urban ecosystem. Landscape-based urbanism or nature and landscape-driven urbanism are core concepts in this, as the natural systems are always basic. Many thanks for your attention and enjoy the MOOC.